Malaria ni ugonjwa hatari sana unaoua watu wengi hapa Kenya. Japo kuko na korona, hatari ya malaria bado iko. Mtoto huyu alikuwa na joto jingi, kutetemeka, kuumwa na viungo na uchovu. Alikimbizwa hospitali ya umma ambako sheria za COVID-19 huzingatiwa na ni salama kwa shughuli ya upimaji. Vipimo vilionyesha kuwa ana malaria na papo hapo daktari akampa dawa za malaria na kumshauri azimalize, na ili kujikinga wawe wakilala ndani ya neti iliyotibiwa. Malaria husambazwa na mbu. Walio hatarini ni watoto wa chini ya miaka 5 na akina mama wajawazito. Kupimwa na kutibiwa ni bure katika hospitali zote za umma. Usisahau adui malaria. Zero malaria huanza na mimi. Chukua jukumu leo. Komesha malaria. Ujumbe huu umeletwa kwenu na Wizara ya Afya.
Good evening. Thank you very much for joining us for this edition of Channel 1 News Hour. My name is Edward Kabasa. I hope you had yourself a very wonderful day today. Later on at 10 p.m, there will be matches which will be played. Tonight, Namibia will be facing Zambia. Tanzania has a very huge task ahead. They have to win against Guinea to qualify to the next stage of the tournament. Those matches will be available to you live and free on KBC Channel 1 and Y254. We have a comprehensive bulletin lined up for you tonight, but first let's have the highlights. The BBI journey. ODM leader Raila Odinga takes the Constitution Review Gospel to Githurai 45. Tragic end for centenarians. 70-year-old man in Makueni allegedly murders his 100-year-old parents in a suspected land row.
From our end, we will ensure that we curb the rising pending bills and arrears in payments and adopt a phased approach in settling outstanding arrears.
And Nairobi County to pay up. Process to pay 1.3 billion shillings of pending bills to vendors who supplied goods and services to Nairobi County since 2017 kicks off. Once again, thank you very much for joining us tonight. Police were forced to lob tear gas to disperse rowdy youth who attempted to disrupt ODM leader Raila Odinga's roadside rally at Githurai 45. The ODM leader, however, proceeded with his campaign to amend the constitution as well as the expansion of modern markets for traders.
A day after a section of traders from Githurai in Roiro, Kiambu County stormed the newly built modern market, alleging a plot to deny genuine traders the new spaces, ODM leader Raila Odinga was in the area to address the traders. His first stop was Githurai Market, where he assured the traders that the market would be expanded and a bridge would be set up over the railway to ease congestion. After addressing traders at Githurai Market, the convoy made a stopover at Githurai roundabout to popularize the Constitution Amendment Bill 2020 that is now headed to the counties for debate following approval by the IEBC. During his tour, his speech would be disrupted at least 3 times by a section of rowdy youth.
BBI inaleta Youth Development Fund. Na hata kina mama watakuwa naweza kukopesha pesa hapo. Unakwenda unakopesha pale na kuna kulipa interest hata hata nduru.
The threats to disrupt the rally was, however, neutralized by police, and the rally proceeded to the end. Kevin Washira, Channel 1 News.
And of course, we do apologize for those name captions which were done in Kiswahili, but nonetheless, you have this story. Let us take a look at some other matters. A 70-year-old man in Makueni is alleged to have murdered his 100-year-old parent before attempting to commit suicide. John Dingu Ndivo, who is currently fighting for his life in hospital, is reported to have descended on his parents with a machete over a protracted land tussle. Beatrice Gatonyang with details of the gruesome murder of the centenarians allegedly in the hands of their elderly son.
Shock and grief among villagers in the little-known village of Kwamwiu, Kiimakiu. It is alleged John Ndingu Ndivo descended on his father in the kitchen with a machete before pursuing his mother, who had witnessed the incident, into the farm and killing her.
Sasa kufika kwa nyumba nikaona babu yangu na nyanyangu wote wameshakufa. Sasa hapo mimi nikaanza kulia, nikuuliza kumetokea nini? Uliza nikaambiwa ni ango yangu alimuua nyanyangu.
He is alleged to have then stabbed himself several times in the stomach and even attempted to slash his throat.
Akachukua kisu, akajikata shingo yake na akakimbia. Saa hiyo nao mimi nikakimbia, nikaanza kupika duru.
Police officers arrived at the scene and rushed him to hospital. His family says he has been opposed to a plan by his father to sell off the ancestral land and share the proceedings among the 7 children, demanding only the 5 boys inherit the proceeds.
Shida ilikuwa ya ardhi, ndio alikuwa anataka angawie wasichana wake, kila mtu ekaeka. Na huyu mbradangu alikuwa anapinga hii kitu.
Muka Sub-County Police Commander Jacinta Moronia says he is admitted at Machakos Level 6 Hospital in critical condition as investigations begin. Beatrice Gatonyang, Channel 1 News.
There was drama in Kayole Estate in Nairobi as a man accused of murdering his ex-girlfriend threatened to jump to his death from the 6th floor of a building to evade arrest. According to the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, the suspected man or criminal relocated to the house in Kayole to evade arrest, and on realizing he had been cornered, he threatened to jump.
At the heart of Kayole Estate in Nairobi County, business was at a standstill as residents witnessed this man threatening to end his life. Police say he is the main suspect in the murder of his girlfriend in Jeru and has been on the run since he allegedly committed the crime 5 days ago. After hours of pleading with the suspect, officers using a crane rescued him from an irate crowd that was baying for his blood.
Irusha amekaa hapo sana na akona uoga sana, ili akubali asalimishe, ashikwe, aingie na murder case.
Akahamia hapa sasa, vile amejulikana anataka kujirusha kitu kama hiyo.
Police were forced to use tear gas and whisk him away from the surging crowd. He is alleged to have tied his ex-girlfriend's hands, locked her in the house, and set the house ablaze. Reporting for Channel 1 News, I'm Jackie Wambiru.
Acting Chief Justice Philomena Mwilu says the process of recruiting the country's next Chief Justice is on course. Mwilu was speaking during the swearing-in of Evelyn Oluwande to the Judicial Service Commission at the Supreme Court. Mwilu challenged the newest member of JSC to ensure she delivers on her pledges in improving operations at the Commission.
Newly appointed member of the Judicial Service Commission took oath of office with a promise to deliver on the pledges she made while eyeing the seat on the Commission.
So help me God.
Commissioner Oluwande pledging to uphold the independence of the judiciary.
Under the Constitution of Kenya, the JSC is given the mandate
to protect and promote the independence of this institution. I am committed to that.
At the same time, she urged commissions to work together in driving the justice system.
The judiciary shares a relationship of interdependence with other arms of government and other government agencies. For that reason, it is important that we learn to live with others. It is important that we learn to manage that relationship. And that is also my promise to Kenyans, that I will play my role in ensuring that that relationship is managed for the benefit of Kenyans.
Acting Chief Justice Philomena Mwilu reminded her to serve without fear or favor as she discharged her duties towards Kenyans.
I am praying that you will not find roadblocks on your path to the discharge of your very sacred duty as a commissioner. I know of fewer commissions that are as important and that discharge a more onerous task than the Judicial Service Commission.
Sentiments echoed by Attorney General Peter Kariuki, who called on her to be steadfast as she assumes office.
Let your tenure be one that distinguishes you as a woman and as a commissioner of integrity, of acting in the best interests of this country and of the millions of Kenyans who have indeed bestowed that trust upon you.
She takes over from Emily Ominde, whose term expired. Yusufar, Channel 1 News.
Nairobi Deputy Governor Anne Kananu says the process of paying some 1.3 billion shillings to individuals and companies who supplied goods and services to the county government and NMS has kicked off. Kananu says the list of the beneficiaries, which dates back to 2017, was vetted by a special committee.
According to Kananu and NMS Director General Mohamed Badi, the move will enhance the delivery approach of key services in Nairobi. According to Kananu, City Hall has set aside 3 billion shillings in the current financial year for the payment of monies owed to contractors and suppliers.
Nairobi City County and NMS formed a committee to look into all the contracts and files of accumulated pending bills covering 2018-2019 financial year, and we are happy to report that documents that I am handing over to NMS today are a true reflection of work that has been done.
Priority in the payment has been given to the garbage collectors and small-scale traders. The county government could not spend billions of shillings from the 2020 and the 2021 budget after former Governor Mike Sonko went to court to block its implementation.
From our end, we will ensure that we curb the rising pending bills and arrears in payments and adopt a phased approach in settling outstanding arrears.
We have managed, in some cases, to start fresh contracts to continue where the county had started, and I'm very glad this morning that we are able to officially hand over the contracts from the county government to NMS, especially on those functions that were transferred.
He also declined to sign warrants to enable the control of budget to authorize the release of funds. For Channel 1 News, I'm Gladys Mungai.
Thank you very much, Gladys Mungai, for that report. We are taking a very short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more news.
Nakwambia 2021 ni vitu noma na QuickBit. Siku ya leo tunakupea Hisense TV.
Oh yes, na ni rahisi sana. Unaenda kwenye lipa na M-Pesa. Paybill number ni 4032353. 4032353. Kwenye account ekelea TV kama code kisha nambari unapenda, alafu amount ni 20 bob.
peke yake. Alafu kumbuka utakelea pin yako, hivyo ndivyo utakuwa umekelea bid kwenye quickbid.co.ke. Kumbuka ni bidhaa bora kwenye bei ya
chini kwa chini. Chini kwa chini.
Jiunga na QuickBid ni rahisi. Enda kwenye M-Pesa, bonyeza paybill kisha weka business number 4032353. Kwenye account weka kodi ya bidhaa unayotaka na bid yako ya chini zaidi. Kwa mfano TV 16. Kisha weka shilingi 20 tu kama idadi yako. Weka bid yako pia kwenye www.quickbid.co.ke. Kumbuka, bid ya chini zaidi ya kipekee ndio hununua. QuickBid, bidhaa bora kwa bei ya chini.
On the next episode of
hamtanivunjia nyumba. Mutarudi zenyu kule mashambani.
Sasa mwenye nyumba alalamiki. Wewe ndio kimbelembele chako. Kinachokulalamisha nini?
Sasa wamekuwa kama mirija. Kama vile Mungu anavyonyonya. Wananyonya huku, kila mtu ananyonya. Angalia vile nilivyokonda. Paka angalia.
Feria, uncle. Mnaitwa mnatoka mnaenda. Funga shini mwende. Nazungumza na nani?
Welcome back to the broadcast. Kenya's coronavirus infection rate continued to hold steady below 5%, despite the country recording 130 new infections. One more patient, however, succumbed to the disease, while 66 others are reported to have made full recovery.
On Wednesday, the Minister of Health reported a 2.6% positivity rate following the confirmation of 130 new COVID-19 cases. Nairobi had 66 new infections, Taita Taveta 18, Mombasa 9, Nakuru and Narok 6 cases each, while Siaya, Uasin Gishu and Kiambu recorded 4 cases each. According to the latest figures, 66 new recoveries were reported both from hospital and home-based care. The latest number of recoveries brings the total to 83,691. One more patient, however, succumbed to the virus, taking the total number of fatalities to 1,751. Currently, 489 patients are admitted in various hospitals. Of these, 28 are in the intensive care unit, while 1,353 are being monitored at home. Nancy Okware, Channel 1 News.
The Kenya Union of Nurses and Kenya Union of Clinical Officers in Mombasa are urging the Mombasa County government to call for dialogue to help end the ongoing stalemate. The latest push by the caregivers comes against the backdrop of a sustained grandstanding by the counties.
Marched peacefully to the governor's office in a push for better pay and improved working conditions. As the strike entered its 14th day, the nurses' grievances are yet to be resolved.
We also need a group life insurance for our members, especially during this COVID pandemic, because we know we have lost our colleagues. Mombasa, we lost 2 nurses. Their families have not been compensated even through WIBA, which is already in our laws. So the county government should take this as a responsibility that the Constitution and the available laws have provided for them.
According to the Kenya National Union of Nurses Branch Secretary Peter Maroko, the caregivers will not relent until their demands are met.
Now we are demanding for them to actually ensure that they pay the 4 months in remittances. They ensure that all promotions that were due in phase 1 are done, complete, and letters issued. And basically they also initiate, because they have also delayed on the phase 2 promotions. They initiate the process and they ensure that they are done within the shortest time possible.
They reiterated their willingness to end the stalemate if the county government calls for further dialogue.
Let them commit themselves, let them put in writing, and let them be faithful to fulfill what they have agreed to do. If they do that, we have no problem.
For Channel 1 News Hour from Mombasa County, I am Anburu.
Kakamega County Governor Wycliffe Oparanya has dismissed calls to have the Luhya community rally behind a single presidential candidate. Oparanya has instead challenged leaders from the region to sell their manifestos to the public and ready themselves for the 2022 political contest. Oparanya has, in the meantime, called on the ODM party leader Raila Odinga to support him in 2022 presidential race as a reward for his loyalty to the party.
The 2022 succession politics continue to gain momentum, with several political leaders coming out to publicly declare their interest for the presidency. Kakamega Governor Wycliffe Oparanya now wants the ODM leader Raila Odinga to support him in his 2022 presidential bid.
Mimi nimefanya campaign akapata kura nyingi. Sasa wakati imefika. Pia ukiwa mtoto unakuwa unaomba baba akupe boma uanze maisha yako. Na mimi nimefika wakati nimesema wakati huu nataka naye pia niunge mkono.
Oparanya has also dismissed calls to have the Luhya community rally behind one presidential candidate, challenging those interested in the presidency to meet at the ballot. Meanwhile, a section of political leaders from the Party of National Unity has thrown its weight behind the Building Bridges initiative, vowing to popularize the initiative. The leaders said if implemented, the BBI shall be a major boost for devolution in the country.
We are going to support the BBI, and we are going to fight until the referendum. We call upon the county assembly members to now take charge.
Elsewhere, a section of Kiambu MCAs has rubbished calls for the impeachment of Governor James Nyoro. The ward representatives urged their colleagues to deliver their mandate to the people of Kiambu County.
And in other matters, new findings into the Anglo-Leasing scandal have unearthed documents authored by different people and signed by a mysterious person by the name Brian Mills, whom the prosecution believes may be key to solving the conundrum. In a hearing before Magistrate Felix Kombo, prosecution described how payments were made to a proxy companies linked to Soundday, a company alleged to be associated with brothers Chamandalal Kamani, Deepak Kamani, and Rashmi Kamani.
In a hearing of the Anglo-Leasing scandal before Magistrate Felix Kombo at the Milimani Law Courts, prosecution told the court of how they trailed documents that an expert revealed were created by different people and signed by a mysterious Brian Mills, who they are unable to find who or she is nor her whereabouts. According to findings by the prosecution led by Ignatius Wekesa, they established how procurement for alleged police equipment was done at the office of the president and the vouchers developed at the police headquarters to Apex Financial Corporation that was not budgeted for in the financial year 2003-2004.
It came out that this project indeed had not been budgeted for in that financial year.
Later on, there was an alleged swift transfer of 73 million and 43 million Kenyan shillings. Finally, a business lady from Mudhurwa Market, Anne Wangeshi, who is a proprietor of a bar, is facing charges of failing to put in measures to ensure physical distancing and failing to provide hand washing stations with soap and water or an alcohol-based sanitizer. For Channel 1 News, I'm Sarafina Robbie.
Rift Valley Regional Commissioner George Natembeya has defended the National Police Service of allegations of inaction in attempts to bring lasting peace to Kapedo. Natembeya has also dismissed calls to have Kenya Defence Forces deployed in the region to curb runaway insecurity. Natembeya says the government is working round the clock to end banditry and return normalcy to the region. This and more stories in our county news briefs.
Speaking after inspecting government projects in Kericho County, Rift Valley Regional Commissioner George Natembea defended the reputation of the National Police Service in Kapedo.
But nataka kuweka usalama kule, hao ndio problem, hao ni ugonjwa. We are the cure. We are going to cure it. Tutamaliza operesheni wakati shida zote. Tuko na objectives ya kuchukua bunduki zile ambazo ziko kwa mikono ya raia, kuhakikisha kwamba wale mifugo wote ambao wamekuwa wakiibwa sehemu zote za North Rift zikipelekwa pale lazima yote kuwe recovered. Ile maficho hawa jamaa ambao wanajificha na kupeleka mifugo ya wizi na kuweka mabunduki pale kwa hiyo kwamba tumeharibu.
Meanwhile, the government has embarked on an ambitious plan to expand and rehabilitate the Dandora Waste Treatment Plant in Nairobi County. The project, which will entail, among others, the construction of 7 ponds, which will treat an additional 20 million litres of wastewater daily, and a 13 kilometres masonry boundary wall.
With this new investment, we'll be able to handle an additional 20,000 cubic meters of waste being treated. One of the things that needed to happen as soon as the encroachers had moved away from here was to ensure that there was a perimeter wall that gives security to this area to avoid any future encroachment. And that work is ongoing currently at about 30%.
Elsewhere, bird watchers and residents have expressed their excitement following the migration of flamingos to Lake Olobosat in Nyandarua County. The migratory birds have attracted the locals who are flocking the lake to watch them. Washira Njari, a conservationist and a teacher, said the locals have an opportunity to watch the birds at a closer range. Finally, Kenya Wildlife Service has shortlisted a number of youths from Turkana County in the recruitment of KWS Scouts. Speaking during the exercise held in Lodwar, senior officer in charge of KWS in Turkana County, Joseph Erupe, said the process will be free, fair and transparent.
5 ladies from every sub-county and 10 men from the rest of the counties.
For Channel 1 News, I am Emily K. Bade.
The Office of the Director of Public Prosecution could be included as an independent office if the Constitution of Kenya Amendment Bill 2020 is adopted. The BBI proposals also seek to enhance the qualification for appointment as the Director of Public Prosecution be the same as that of a judge of the Court of Appeal. In tonight's segment of the Constitutional Review, Kevin Washira looks at the changes proposed in the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions.
Article 157 of the Constitution establishes the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions with powers to direct the Inspector General of National Police Service to investigate any information or allegation of criminal conduct. The qualifications for appointment as Director of Public Prosecutions are the same as that of a judge of the High Court. Proponents of the BBI through the Constitution of Kenya Amendment Bill 2020 want to enhance the qualification for appointment as the Director of Public Prosecution to be the same as that of a judge of the Court of Appeal. Further, Clause 36 of the bill proposes to repeal Article 158 of the Constitution on the removal and resignation of the Director of Public Prosecutions to align the removal and resignation of Director of Public Prosecution with that of the Constitution Commissions and independent offices. This means the Office of Director of Public Prosecutions will be included as an independent office in Chapter 15 of the Constitution. Kevin Washira, Channel 1 News.
Let's take a look at some business news now. The Monetary Policy Committee has retained the commercial bank rate at 7%, saying the microeconomic environment remains stable. The committee, during its first sitting this year, held that the economy is expected to rebound strongly in 2021, supported by a recovery in the services sectors, particularly education, manufacturing, agriculture, and the ongoing policy support through the government's economic recovery plan. Kenya is wooing Iran to increase the uptake of Kenyan goods in a bid to counter the trade imbalance, which is heavily skewed towards the Middle East country. ICT Cabinet Secretary Joe Musheru has urged Iran to increase its purchase of Kenyan dairy, tea and horticulture products. Over 40 Iranian investors are in the country, led by Iran Vice President Raila Satari, scoring for investment opportunities.
Statistics from the Kenya Invest Authority indicates that two-way trade ties between Kenya and Iran stood at 13 billion shillings in 2019, with the lever heavily tilted towards Tehran. In 2019, Kenyan exports to Iran were majorly tea and vegetables, while Tehran exports were medical equipment and chemicals.
We have a good market for the Kenyan products, not only our country, but the neighboring countries around Iran. And Iran can be used as a corridor to send the Kenyan products through Iran to the landlocked countries around that region.
Kenya is now urging Iran to relax some of its phytosanitary requirements that hinder more vegetables and flour exports to the Middle East nation.
Iran government can consider supporting the development of the sectors which are horticulture, manufacturing and services, provide technical assistance and capacity building, in particular the areas of onshore and offshore exploration.
Speaking during the opening of a technological and innovation hub here in Nairobi, ICT Cabinet Secretary Joe Musheru has urged Iran to invest in the Big Four agenda, especially housing, food security and manufacturing.
The bilateral relations that we've had with Iran have been, for a long time, and it is our plan that this will continue to grow and deepen. And it is good to see the business community here, the technology community from both countries coming together so that we can look at how we can harness the great opportunities that are presented.
Iranian Vice President for Science and Technology Raila Satari says Iran is ready to participate in bilateral scientific and technological cooperation with the aim of strengthening Kenya's long-term development agenda of Vision 2030.
My country is ready to participate effectively in bilateral scientific and technological cooperation with the aim of strengthening Kenya's long-term development agenda to Vision 2030, the Big Four development.
Satari is leading a delegation of Iranian knowledge-based firms in the fields of petrochemicals, renewable energy, pharmaceuticals, biotechnology and nanotechnology.
Let's finally take a look at sports. Thika Sports Club is set to host the opening round of the all-new NCBA Golf Series on January 30th. The 20-leg all-year-round amateur series will traverse several golf clubs across the country, culminating in the grand finale at the Karen Country Golf on 3rd December 2021. The main series will run alongside NCBA Junior Golf Series, which will feature two events at Karen Country Club on 23rd to 24th August and Muthaiga Golf Club on 19th to 10th of December 2021.
Sports sponsorship remains an important area for us because it is transforming the lives of many Kenyans. Golf especially remains a sport that is yet to be fully appreciated in Kenya, and our participation in this event is in the hope that we can encourage, especially more young people, to develop as much interest in golf as they have in other sports disciplines. The junior tournament will cater for the budding golf talent in Kenya for children aged between 6 and 18 years, and we include 2-day golf clinics intended to show up junior golf competition.
One of our objectives is to ensure that we promote and ensure that the golfers have an environment where they can enjoy their sport. We try to ensure that this game is represented in all parts of the country, and there is no better partner to work with in this an NCBA. I'm particularly happy for the junior series because at the union, working, we know that the future of the game is in junior golf because this is where we are going to get skills which can match any other internationally.
And finally, the last group matches of the ongoing African Nations Championship will be played tonight with 2 Group D matches on the cards. Tanzania will be up against Guinea, while Namibia will take on Zambia. Teams that earn qualification will take a 2-day break before quarter-final action kicks off on Saturday, with Mali taking on Congo, while DR Congo will face host Cameroon.
Table toppers on goal difference Guinea need to win in order to secure a quarter-final place in the 16-team tournament and will play Tanzania, who are third, and also need to win in order to book a place in the last 8. Zambia is second on the table and will be looking forward to win against the already relegated Namibia, who are bottom placed with 0 points. So far, Mali and Cameroon, DR Congo, Morocco and Rwanda have already qualified in Group A, B and C respectively and will proceed to the quarterfinals. The quarterfinal matches are set to be played on Saturday and Sunday, with Mali taking on Congo while DR Congo will take on hosts Cameroon. Morocco and Rwanda will face the teams which earn qualification today. KBC Channel 1 and Y254 will broadcast the matches live from 10 p.m.
We do thank you very much for your continued audience. My name is Edward Kabasa. I hand it over to Amfa Apidi. He will be taking you through the preparations for the matches coming ahead. Tanzania is facing an uphill task. I should call it a Herculean task, Amfa. They need to beat Guinea to qualify to the next stage and perhaps set up an East African affair in the next stage. Or am I wrong?
Well, Edward, you're very, very right. Tanzania have all it takes. They know that their work is cut out. They have to beat Guinea to make it through. But remember, Rwanda, yesterday night, after that dramatic match against Togo, managed to make it through to the quarterfinals. So we are likely to see Tanzania taking on Rwanda, an East African affair. But that all happens if they beat Guinea tonight. Remember, Guinea and Zambia just need a draw in their respective matches to go through, but East Africans definitely will be rooting for Tanzania to make it through so that we have 2 teams. Unfortunately, they might meet, or it might be Tanzania taking on defending champions Morocco in a match that many really suspected officiating, but that's here now there. We all know that it is possible. For Tanzania, their work is cut out. They have to win to make it through to the next round.
I know Guinea is a very strong team, but I am an East African and I am going to be rooting for Tanzania.
Definitely many will be rooting for Tanzania, more so after the elimination of Uganda. We only have Tanzania now and Rwanda to say so, but at least Rwanda already through. Now it's up to Tanzania to book a ticket and also make it through. Maybe after this I'll be joined by Sami Moraya and Bernardo Dipo to take us through the paces. But for now, I'll hand it back to you, Edward, to wrap it up and just usher us in after the news.
All right, thank you very much for PD. He will be coming to you right after this. On behalf of the team here, we do thank you very much for joining us tonight. Yusuf Farah is coming up next with the day's weather forecast.
Korea Kericho is the coldest tonight, with temperatures over there dropping to 9 degrees Celsius, with rainfall expected in the highlands west of the Rift Valley region. The rest of the country will be experiencing dry weather conditions. Good evening. My name is Yusuf Farah. Time now for your Channel 1 weather updates. And tomorrow morning, quite the sunny morning. We'll be waking up to, from the northeastern region, sunny intervals in the morning. The same experience in areas of the coastal region and Nairobi and its environs. Kitale, Kisii, Kericho will also be having sunny intervals in the morning, with the same experience in areas of Lodo and its environs. In the afternoon, with the exception of Kisii and Narok, where there will be rainfall accompanied by thunderstorms. Remember to keep warm in that region. Areas of the coastal region, a good time to go for a walk or a swim by the beach because the sun will be out. Areas of the northeastern region continues to experience sunny intervals, with the same in the Lake Turkana Basin and areas bordering Kenya and South Sudan. Let's now take a look at the temperatures, where highs of 38 and lows of 22 in Mandera, Garissa, highs of 37, lows of 24, and the capital city, Nairobi, highs of 28 and lows of 15. That's all we had for you for the local weather focus. The international weather focus is coming up in a bit. Again, many thanks for keeping it Channel 1. I'll be seeing you tomorrow, same time, same place. Until then, have yourselves a lovely night.
Vera Beauty College.
Vera Beauty and Fashion College, with branches in